Hello and welcome to another Skaredcast Battle Report. Today, brand new chapter approved missions, brand new Space Wolves. Let's dive into the game.
The Dark King.
Hello and welcome to another match play battle report showcasing the brand new chapter approved missions and the brand new Space Wolf Codex. Of course, a huge shout out to Games Workshop for sending me these sets for free so I could check them out and showcase them. Today, Dark Eldar versus Space Wolves. Let's take a look at the armies and the mission that we will be playing. And here we have my 2,000 points of Drukhari playing real space. I'm kidding. Playing Reaper's Wager. Real Space Raiders. Boo. I'm having a lot of fun. As you watch this right now, I'm at the Dallas Open GT in Dallas, Texas, and I'll be playing this exact list. So make sure you head on over and check out how I'm doing. Hopefully not getting crushed by New Death Guard. Okay, so here we go. We've got Lilith Hesprax, Archon Skari with the Arc Raider enhancement, Urian Rakarth, and Drazar, the Master of Blades. 5 Incubi. I just spruced them up. Brand new paint job and stuff. Oh, they look so cool. 10 Kabalites, 10 Witches. I do have a Beastmaster, 3 Venoms, 2 Chronos, 2 units of Scourge, 1 with Dark Lances, 1 with Haywires, 10 Helions. That's right, 10 Skyboard guys. It wouldn't be a Drukhari list that I made without a Void Raven Bomber, of course. Not going to stop until it's 3,000 points. Then we've got the 2 units of Grotesques with Liquefiers, and rounding it all off, 2 units of 5 Mandrakes for 2,000 points on the nose. Now you're running the detachment Saga of the Bold.
Yeah, I'm going to have to complete some different sagas to get this ability to pop off. Gets me a reroll hit, wound, or damage. And then when everything pops off, I get a hit, roll, and damage.
Yep.
It's going to be based around a lot of different characters. And the enhancements it gives me access to that I'm using today are Braggart Steel, which gives me some extra strength. And if I complete sagas, gives me extra damage. The other thing would be Horde Slayer, which I'm going to be actually putting on
this guy?
the Wolfguard Battle Leader with combi weapon.
Nice. Well, let's take a look at what you brought in the army completely. Ben, take it away. What have you brought today?
We'll just start from left to right. Over there we got Ragnar Blackmane leading a bunch of head takers. They got shields this time. They look a little weird, but they are what they are. Right behind him are Wolfen with shields and hammers. We're going to see if they really have anything to fight at all this game, but if they do, it'll be sick. Next, we've got Arjak out in front in his Terminator armor. He's going to be leading a squad of 10 Wolfguard Terminators that are located in the back there. Next, we've got a Wolf Priest. He lost his Wolf Mask, just got a Skull Mask. It's okay. He's going to be with a bunch of Grey Hunters. Sergeant's going to have a Power Fist. Behind them, we got 1 unit of 5 Fenrisian Wolves, unit of 5 Wolf Scouts, Brutalis Dreadnought, 2 units of 3 Thunderwolf Cav, a unit of 10 Blood Claws led by Njal Stormcaller, 5 more Fenrisian Wolves, Beyond the Fell-Handed, and last...
I love how he's still really small.
I know, right? And last but not least, we have the Wolfguard Battle Leader with combi weapon.
I see a lieutenant over there. Brand new Primaris lieutenant.
Yeah,
that's right. There you have it. 2,000 points of Space Wolves. Let's dive into the mission. Okay, so for mission, we're going to showcase the brand new and improved Terraform. Now, it's changed a little bit from before. We are playing Crucible Battle, and we do have our Challenger cards ready to rock and roll. Attacker, Defender decks, as well as layout number 1 for GW, so that hasn't really changed. We're using the brand new Ruins of Perdition, which is from the Mini Wargaming Forge. Now, these are really cool because they're modular and you can magnetize them. So I've decided to build them into a competitive layout. They just launched a Kickstarter this week, so I will put a link down in the description below if you want to help them out. But I love it because you can do competitive and really cool narrative boards with it. And I basically just recreated the GW layout, and it's really well done. It's fantastic. So setting the mission parameters, we're playing Strike Force, we're playing Terraform and Crucible of Battle. We mustered our armies already, so that's really cool. We've determined the mission, we've put the objective markers down, we've created the battlefield, and now we're going to determine attacker and defender. Then we're going to pick our secondaries with a fixed or tactical. There are brand new secondaries in this deck, which are really cool. The biggest change is containment has gone away, and they've added 2 new ones. Attempting target and have more of your units in no man's land than your enemy. So like a show of force or whatever it's called. They've also tweaked a few different ones, which we'll get to as we go, but it's a really slight change to what you remember from Pariah with a couple of cool mechanics built in, as well as the challenger cards, which we will see how they work during this game. Attacker defender. Ooh, you have an infiltrator, right? But it doesn't matter. I'm just going to let you defend. I'll let you deploy first, which means you will be green and I will be red on our little game tracker. I'll be red because I'm Dark Eldar. Dark Eldar like attacking, and you be green. Now we're going to go ahead and declare our battle formations. We're going to deploy our armies. Then we do redeploys, pre-battle rules, and then we will start the battle. And with that, we'll come back after deployment. And here we are after deployment. Because Ben didn't bring too many guns, right, Ben?
We're stalking in the shadows.
You're stalking the guns in the shadows?
We're loping, some would say.
I decided to deploy a little bit more aggressively. In reserve, I put my Void Raven Bomber, which has to start in reserve, and it comes in strategic. Bombers do not have deep strike or hover, so they have to be put in reserve. I have 10 Hellions in strategic reserve. They don't have deep strike either. They have to come in strategic reserve. And 5 of the witches, with no upgrades, they are in strategic reserve as well. I put Drazar in his Venom here, 3 Grotesques, a Kronos. Haywire Scourge, Uri Rakarth in the corner back there. I've got my Archon's Venom with Arc Raider, so he can either move up and sticky the middle objective, or move away and not get shot by Meltaguns or whatever. I've got my Beast Pack ready to scout into position. More Grotesques back here. Lilith Hesperax in her Venom and 5 Witches. Another Kronos. The Darklawn Scourge, I like putting them on this side because long angles this way, down this deployment side. Mandrakes, and Cavalite Warriors to sticky my home objective in case I have to send Archon Skari forward. Then we look at the Wolves. We've got Ragnar. We've got Scouts. We've got the Head Takers. We've got the Lone Op Lieutenant. We've got 3 Thunderwolf Cav. We've got Grey Hunters with the Wolf Priest. We have Bloodclaws with Niall. We've got the Brutalis Dreadnought, 2 units of 5 wolves. What's really cool about them now is as long as they're close to a character, they get objective control, which is very much like Scarabs and Cryptics, which is kind of neat. It allows them to like do actions and things like that, which is cool. Then we got Bjorn the Fell-Handed sitting at the back. He's a command point generation. Then we've got 3 more Thunderwolves and of course the Wolfen just ready to launch forward. You've got some good strats in this detachment, like advance and charge, -1 damage, turn a squad leader into a character for your bonuses. So I'm really curious to see what you do. And in Deep Strike Reserve, you put 10 Wolfguard Terminators and Arjak Rockfist ready to come down in like a great rapid ingress threat to just nuke stuff. I've played against him before. And you made me very sad last time we played.
Oh, poor Magnus.
Yeah, you killed all my 1,000 sons. No.
As they trudged through the thickest snow known to man.
It was exactly how that worked. So with that, let's dive into the game. The Drukhari, Dark Eldar Raiders and Pirates prepare to launch an attack against the Mon-Kai of the Space Wolf chapter, taking many prisoners back to the Dark City to play with them in the arena is our goal. Ragnar Blackmane's not going to have any of that if he can have any say in the matter, guided by the runes set forth from Niall's Stormcaller. The blizzard marches forth with blood on the wings of wind and chainswords. With that, let's see who goes first. I rolled a 4. Oh, he rolled a 5. You must go first. And with that, it is battle round number 1. So the headhunters get a quarry. He's going to make the grotesque the quarry. So you get what, dev wounds against your quarry?
Yeah.
Cool, awesome. So those grotesques, they're going to die anyway. That's fine. And then as soon as they kill that quarry, you get to pick another one, etc., etc., etc. You do have some scout moves. So you've got your scout moves here. I've got my scout moves. And with that, we will start the game. So scouts, you moved your scouts forward just behind the building, of course. In Games Workshop and most tournaments, anything that's like a big hole in a wall blocks line of sight completely. So things like this, I wouldn't be able to shoot the scouts, but they couldn't shoot me either. Just to keep like terrain consistent, indeed. The Beast Packers kind of moved up, created a little line because the Wolfen moved 9, and they have an advance and charge strat. And then, of course, we have the Venom Arc Raider. If I would have gone first, he would have gone to stick here. If not, you just kind of move back here. And now we can go and threaten either of the 2 objectives on the flank with that as well. So with that, we start. Now, one of the big changes with Terraform is the action for Terraform completes at the end of the player turn. And it only gives you 1 point when it's completed instead of 2 points. And you can do the action to take Terraform away from an objective that was already terraformed from your opponent. So you're not completely stuck if somebody goes first, terraforms all 3 objectives, and then they get 6 points for the rest of the game and you can't do anything about it every single turn. Now they've modified it. It's a lot less intense as it was before. So what cards did you get for turn number 1? You get 2 CP though, because you have Bjorn in your list. So you get Marked for Death. Okay. And Recover Assets. Fantastic. 2 of the cards that changed in the new deck. Marked for Death, I am going to pick 3 of my units that I want you to try and kill. And if you kill either of them, or I remove them from the table for any reason, you get 5 points. However, in new Marked for Death, you get to pick 1 unit as well. Now, if you kill that unit, it's 2 points. So it's not like you're stuck with it. Now, in this case, you're probably stuck with it unless you yeet your something forward to go murder me. But I'm going to go ahead and say these Cabalite Warriors. I'm going to say
turn 1
this
for death.
this Kronos over here and this Venom over here, which are very much nice and safe. And you get to choose the Beast Pack. Okay, well, I wonder what those Wolfen are going to come do. So they're now marked as well. I do like that change for that secondary. It means that it's not a complete dead draw most of the time. Recover Assets is do an action in Deployment Zone, No Man's Land, and Enemy's Deployment Zone. So 3 different actions. It used to be that you had to survive a whole turn. Now it ends end of turn. So you just have to do it in your zone, in mid-zone for 3 points, and if you do it in the 3 zones, you get it for 6 points. So I love that change for Recover Assets. It's not a bad sabotage anymore. So we'll go into the movement phase. Sorry, I had said 6 points. It's 5 points now for 3 zones of Recover Assets, which means that like getting up and aggressive into your opponent's deployment zone, not bad. Of course, just doing some movement. Ben's just thinking what he wants to do here. And, he's got plenty of stuff. He does not need to overcommit, of course. You get 4 points in Terraform for each objective you control, and then 1 point for each terraformed objective that you control as well. And we are back. End of the movement phase and end of the turn. Ben was like, I put him on the spot there. These wolves just moved up. They're within range of a character behind the wall. So they get OC, which allows them to recover assets in No Man's Land. Meanwhile,
They're playing fetch.
The other puppies, yeah, they're playing fetch.
They're
Go
fetching
fetch,
assets.
fetch boy, fetch boy, good boy. And you're going to recover assets in your deployment zone. Yep. He moved up and is terraforming this objective, which is now complete. So you have terraformed this objective successfully, which means that if I don't take it down, you're going to score residual points. Silly terraform. Would you like to keep Marked for Death or get rid of it?
Get rid of it.
Now, I will tell you right now, something brand new in this mission is you can actually get rid of Marked for Death at the end of my turn now. You do not have to hold it. So you can hold it now, and if I sacrifice my units or uppy downy, my mandrakes or whatever, or I kill this unit or kill that unit in my turn, you will get the points for it.
I will dump it anyways.
Okay, sure. That means I can get really aggressive with my beast pack.
I'll dump it at the end of
Correct.
your
At the end of my turn,
yes,
you can
I
dump
will be
it.
dumping
Correct.
it. I don't
So
need-
you'll
I can't
dump
get
it.
the CP anyways because
You don't get the CP if you dump it at the end of your opponent's turn.
But I can't get it anyways.
Correct. But you can't get it anyways because you got Bjorn. So in that case, that's not bad. It forces me to not just throw away my beast pack to stop you from getting 2 points. You do get 3 points on secondaries. And I hope you're enjoying this little explanation of how this works. And you have successfully recovered assets. You can hold on to Marked for Death. I will uppy my mandrakes so that they just go up into the sky. With that, I will get a command point, and you will get a command point. And I draw my 2 cards. I draw Storm Hostile Objective. So take an objective away from you. It is 4 points. And you've got what? 1 OC on here. So we'll see if I can take that away potentially. And Secure No Man's Land. Hold 2 objectives in No Man's Land. So I'm going to keep that card there. And I'm just going to try and get that done. So as it stands, I'm probably going to advance the Grotesques up, potentially do an advance and charge, depending on what you decide to do with the reactive move. As the active player, I can kind of choose the order in which that would happen. And then I've got like a Chronos here that might show up. The Beast Pack is probably going to run and just create like a big wall like I normally do on that side of the board. I'm going to try and start sticking my objectives. I'm going to hold that one and this one. Urian Rakarth is probably just going to run up into the middle here, because that's what Urian does, okay? And then we'll see what happens with the... Yeah, there's no vehicles out there, so I don't have to worry about, like, the tank or the anti-tank guns. The Dark Lances are probably just going to go here and just nuke a couple of puppies. Nuke a puppy. Nuke a puppy.
There's ever a time.
Yes.
Thought, oh,
of course the Dark Eldar. The Dark Eldar would go around... Hurt... Yeah, the Dark Eldar would be mean and cruel. Oh, terrible, terrible. I play such a
mean
fun...
and cruel to humans, okay?
To anything.
Leave
we
the
do
puppies
not
alone.
We do not discriminate. We are mean and cruel
This is
to
the grim darkness.
everything.
There should be discrimination everywhere.
We don't discriminate. You're welcome into the arena anytime. End of the movement phase. This Chronos ran really far up the board. These Grotesques, I gave them a pain token, and I got it back for the Chronos. They advanced onto the objective. You decided to reactive move your lieutenant behind the wall.
My Wolfguard battle leader.
But I was able to take the objective away from you. However, I'm not going to put anything else on there, so I'm not going to stop your terraform. Urian Rakarth didn't roll high enough, so he's just sitting back there. The Grotesques ran up. Lilith moved up. The Cowlights ran like 13 inches up the board. Then we had the Venom disembark Archon Skari and his friends and put his nose on the objective to terraform it. I also put the Chronos on the objective. The birds can see all the way down to these little puppies, and then the Beast Pack didn't run as far as I wanted to. I was hoping for a little bit further of a run, but they're just creating a bit of a block wall just to kind of see what happens. And then, of course, at the end of the fight phase, Skari's going to go back into his Venom, so they're just going to be hidden behind the wall there. So I'll be able to terraform that objective. I've got my Secure No Man's Land, and I successfully stormed Hostile Objective on turn 1. Even though you don't have to have it on turn 1, you can get rid of it on the first battle round. Right now, what I'm going to do is probably spend a Pain token or 2 to try and kill them, and then we'll call it a shooting phase. Archon Skari completely annihilated that wolf pack. I did shoot a Dark Lance in those Thunderwolves, but I missed because I didn't give them a pain token because I didn't really want to waste pain tokens early. And they're just going to jump into the Venom. They were wholly within 6 inches at the end of the fight phase. And the Venom, of course, terraformed that objective. So let's go to the scoreboard. Would you like to get rid of marked?
Yes.
Okay, getting rid of marked. Boom. And then, of course, I will get 4 points for Storm and 5 points for Secure No Man's Land, bringing my secondary score up to 9 points. And with that, would you like to pull your scouts at the end of the fight phase as well?
Nope.
Nope, he's just going to keep them there. The Wolf Scouts are staying on, or the Scouts are staying on the board. And with that, we go into battle round number 2. I get a command point, go up to 3. You get 2 command points, you go up to 5. You got lots of command points to play with.
Well, it's good because some of my stuff costs 2.
It is the start of the battle round, which means you get 2 more cards, and now we get to do a challenge card. You have 3 points. I have 9 points. There is a 6-point difference. Now, there's a deck of 9 cards. We did shuffle them beforehand, and we both get to use the same deck. That means you get to either a stratagem that you get to use during this battle round, essentially, or you get a thing that gives you just 3 points.
Are these open or are these secret?
They're open.
Okay.
So we both know what's happening, so you draw them. So your challenger card is all in. So in your fight phase, 1 unit that selected to fight can pile and consolidate 6 inches instead of 3, which is actually something that was really funny because you were looking at a different detachment.
Yeah, there's the
That's so
Saga
funny.
The Hunter, I believe.
So you could do that.
Or
1 unit in your shooting phase. If it's more than 18 inches away from all other enemy units, it just does an action and gets you 3 points for free. So you can pick any unit to just go, I get 3 points. Okay, that's really easy. or a cool piling consolidate. So you choose to get points or a cool bonus in game, and that's the new challenger mechanic. Is like a catch-up mechanic as well.
When do I decide which one I'm going to do?
So the this self-preservation is an action in your shooting phase.
Okay.
So you'd have to choose to do it in your shooting phase,
Yep.
and all in is in your fight phase. So you'll choose to do either
If I
of
don't
the
do anything
points.
in my shooting phase, I'll use it in my fight phase.
There you go. That's how that works. And with that, let's dive in to turn number 2. Also for cards, you got engage on all fronts, which did change. Now 2 table quarters is 1 point, 3 is 2, and 4 is 4. So you can get at least 1 point for having 2 table quarters. And area denial has not changed. That one is still good. Get within 3, kill enemy units, and hold the middle of the board. As for primary points, you get 4 points there and 1 point for your terraform, bringing you up to 5 points. Now, of course, this is at the end of the command phase, which means the challenger card would have already happened when that happened. And we're back off to movement. You decide to move your headhunters out, and I overwatched them. Got a bunch of wounds in, and I killed one.
Yep.
Nice. With flamers. That was 1 CP I spent. You also moved your lieutenant up. Your scouts and your wolf guard, your Thunderwolves, which is still a thing. Nice. They're zoning out the board. Bjorn, you put a bunch of units on your home objective. Then the Wolven have moved out. They're going to go charge the Beast Pack. And Niall and his Blood Claws. Auto advance 6 inches. They move what? 15 or something? 13. They only move 6? I thought they moved 7.
Auto advance 6, 7-inch move.
Oh, nice. They're so fast. They're so fast all of a sudden. And this Dreadnought has moved up into the middle now. So what I did is I rapid ingressed my Void Raven Bomber. So he's just going to go wee over here. Probably he's going to spin this way. And then he's going to bomb probably the wolves and then shoot and see if he can kill some stuff. You do have a -1 damage strat in the shooting phase, which makes my bomber really inefficient into your just marines. So I'm probably just going to shoot. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But with that, we have the shooting phase. And you're going to pick someone to do the action. You've decided to do the challenger mission. Self-preservation. Who's going to do self-preservation? Bjorn! Yeah, I guess he didn't live 1,000 years by not being self-preserving. So that'll give you 3 points right off the bat. As for engage on all fronts, you can have at least 2 corners, potentially a third, depending on what the Wolfen do. And area denial, you don't have anything within 3 inches of the middle of the board, so nothing as of yet. Potentially, if you get a really fun charge or something, you can do that as well. So quick little update. Ben and I were talking. Ben hasn't played in a couple of months. So instead of doing area denial, he wanted to cycle through it because it was not like the way he moved. There wasn't really a way to get like points or whatever. So he cycled it into established locus, which is another action near the middle of the table. Good job. Well done. At least you're getting...
I can dump that at the end of...
You can dump it at the end of whoever you want. Okay, so instead of area denial, which he wasn't really going to get anyway, he's got locus, which he's not going to get anyway. Sure. But he's getting 3 points for the challenger card. Get him. Shooting phase time. End of the shooting phase. This Chrono survived with 3 wounds left because I made lots of feel no pains. To Ben's chagrin.
So much chagrin.
And then you did charge here. And you did charge there, 2 inches over there. And then this failed to charge into the Beast Pack, but you decided not to use one of your CP to reroll. Yep. I have put a pain token on the Beast Pack and a pain token on the Grotesques. So I have 1 left in the bank. Reason being, Grotesque get fight on death on a 4+, and then I'm going to be spending a command point to allow my Beast Pack to fight on death on a 4+ as well, just to try and soften up the Wolfen as best I can before we get into the meat, the nitty gritty of the game. So with that, we'll come back after shooting and fight. Oh, fighting. After fighting. Yeah, fighting. Murder. End of the fight phase. Really interesting. Ragnar and his headhunters annihilated the Grotesque, and none of them fought back on death. I did spend the fight on death on the birds. You killed the Claude Fiend, the Beast Pack Master, and 2 of the Chimera. The reason I killed the Beast Pack Master is because I wanted to make sure that once I screen again with the birds to make a line, that if you draw Assassinate, you don't get an easy Assassinate because my Beast Master would be in the unit. They are -1 to hit, though, because Wolfen are different now. They're tougher, they have less attacks, they suppress units they fight, and they're really good against monsters and vehicles. I know. So interesting to say the least. And your new Headhunter quarry is this Kronos. Yep. Okay. So with that, let's go to the scoreboard at the end of the turn. So for engage on all fronts, you get 2 corners. So that's 1 point for engage. you will successfully complete a challenger card for 3 points. That's 4 points. And you have established locus. Do you want to get rid of it?
I'll do it in your turn.
Yeah, which is the same thing because it doesn't actually matter. But you could say choose and then maybe have a next turn or whatever if you wanted to, which does give you
I can
4
see what
points.
you move in there, and then I can decide.
So you have 7 points as we move into my turn, number 2. You have 1 command point left. I go up to 1 command point. My little mandrakes will go up into the sky. And I will draw Assassination. Good thing Ragnar Blackmane is right on the side. And I also draw the brand new Recover Assets, which is very good. I do owe you a Battle Shock test. I don't want to use it just yet to do stuff. However, I'd really like to. I'm just going to... Oh, I only have 1 CP, so I do have to try and pass the test. No, he's Battle Shocked, which will lower my primary. So I get 9 points on primary because I do hold 2 of them over there. And I do owe you a Battle Shock on the birds as well. Their leadership 8. Ooh, they fail. So I've got 2 Battle Shocked units, and we move into my movement phase. I don't have a challenger card, but I'm okay with that. And getting 9 points keeps me up on the score. However, Battle Shock means I'm gonna have to do something else to terraform the middle, etc., etc. My goal is to try and kill Ragnar and his friends or the lieutenant, to kill that dreadnought and to kill those wolfen, as well as use the bomber to just disrupt your second wave. While at the same time, I have to remember you have Terminators coming in, so I have to make sure I screen out the board as best I can to prevent the Terminators from arriving where you want them to arrive. And with that, let's dive into the turn. End of the shooting, movement phase. End of the movement phase for turn 2. You spent a CP to rapid ingress your Terminators.
Yep.
If I get 2 Zealous with a charge, you can heroic. I did move my Scourge up to get line of sight of the Haywire onto the Brutalis Dreadnought and as well as your Headhunters. Drazar is coming out to play. He was in his little Venom. He's popping out. I've got my Kronos just sidestep in, just giving me some options in that zone there. Urian Rakarth moved into the middle. He might terraform. He might
whatever he likes.
Might shoot his flamer. We'll see. The birds passed all of their Desperate Escape tests and they moved up to screen so that the Thunderbolts can't get around the edge there. And then the Grotesques had to run to sacrifice to create a wall, right? Like this. So that the Blood Claws that have a 13-inch move can't really get around that wall. Other than that, I've just kind of focused my fire on an isolated unit of Wolfen here. And the Bomber moved, because it was my turn now, so it moved. Bombed the little wolves, got a 5-inch radius that hit Bjorn and put 4 mortal wounds on Bjorn, killed 2 of the little puppies, and then did no damage to anything else.
I only made 1 of my field of hits.
Oh, I'm so happy. He's down to half health now. So now I have a debate whether I nuke Blood Claws or I nuke Bjorn. So we'll see what happens there. You did have to spend 1 of your command points on this, or you did, to get them involved in the game. But it does mean you do not have the 2 CP for -1 damage and shooting for your detachment, which means my D-sides are just a little bit more effective. The spicy effective. Now, those Scourge didn't move because they were there from the beginning of the game, so they're going to get their heavy bonus to shoot either Terminators or this Ballistus Dreadnought. So we'll see what happens. Or the Ballistus. Looks like a Ballistus. No, it doesn't. That's a Brutalis Dreadnought. I have 1 CP. So I'm either going to use it for lethals or sustained on the Void Raven Bomber, or sustained on Drazar's unit or something. So I don't know what I'm going to use it on just yet. But let's focus on things I really need to kill, which are this Dreadnought and those Wolfen, and then we'll figure out what I'm doing with the rest of it. But I do have only 1 command pain token, because I did I was overzealous spending it on the last combat phase. The biggest thing I need to do, I think, is spend it on this unit right here. Ben says hello. He also says goodbye to all of his Blood Claws.
They're down!
Oh, man. Well, first of all, I didn't kill the Wolfen, so that's fine. Archon Skari is going to hop back into his Venom with his friends.
Drukhari drive-by.
Yeah, that's right. That's it. The Bomber didn't get a pain token because I had 1, so I put it on the Scourge with Haywires.
Oh no, the Bomber didn't have a pain token.
However, I got 10 hits with my D-sides. I put 10 wounds on, and you failed 10 out of 10 6-up saves.
Sure did.
And all of the blood claws died.
Sure did.
That is the laughter of me enjoying this pain.
May it make you live forever.
That's right. The pain fuels me. With the combination of the Kronos and the Venom, I was able to kill the lone lieutenant that had basically tried to move up to stop me from really kind of engaging fully into the headhunters. However, and I did put 2 wounds on the headhunters with a sporadic shooting from a couple of carbines and rifles. So the only thing that didn't go to plan was not killing that Wolfen because he made lots of 4-up impulse saves.
You could probably charge him.
Oh, shoot. And you know what I totally forgot to do? Totally forgot I had to recover assets. No!
Yes.
No! Okay.
All part of my plan.
No. So... he's terraforming. Yeah, whatever. I'll get rid of it for CP. It's fine. I totally forgot. I got so excited. Everything shot. Everything did a thing. I could do recover in my deployment zone, but then I don't have anything in No Man's Land other than Drazar, and he needs to charge, so I'm not going to do that. So with that, let's do some charges. I'm going to charge into Ragnar and the Headhunters with Drazar. He's going to try viciously execute you to get some pain tokens, and then we'll kind of go from there. Let's see what happens. Dun, dun, dun. Epic showdown. He's not even looking at you. There you go. Haha, epic showdown. End of the fight phase. Drazar viciously executed Ragnar. However, one cheeky reroll on an invul save kept this headhunter alive, which means that he was able to hold Drazar in place to prevent him from running back into his venom.
Drazar turned around to get back in. Grabbed him by the collar. Like,
not today,
I got you for 2 minutes.
2 minutes. I did get lots of pain tokens, so now I'm at 6 pain tokens thanks to Drazar viciously executing, which means I've got plenty of pain tokens for the rest of the game, which is fantastic. However, I did kill. I got 2 characters. I assassinated. I killed a whole unit of blood claws. This was a very good turn for the Drukhari.
At the end of your turn, I will pick up my scouts.
You are going to pick up the scouts. Yes. They're going to run away. Run away. They're going to be scared. They're going to be scared. Get out of here. So I did get 5 points for assassination. Not bad. And I will successfully, and by successfully I mean not at all, recover assets, which means I'm going to get rid of it for CP. So I'll go up to 1 CP. So with that, I will go up to 14 secondary points as well. This is something I wanted to do. So in terms of this, I wanted to bring you down here to 5. And I wanted this 3rd thing to be any of the special missions that we do. It's a great way to track it. So you've done 1 so far.
Yep.
You're going to get rid of Locust?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. You get rid of Locust, discard it. And with that, we move into battle round number 3, where you will get, you had 0, so you go up to 2, because Bjorn's still alive. I will go up to
Despite
2.
Your best efforts.
I am up to 23 points to your 13, so 10 points difference. You get a second challenger card. So strategic retreat. At the start of your shooting phase, 1 unit from your army that's not within engagement range can be removed from the battlefield and placed into strategic reserves. So you can uppy-downy a unit that's not a vehicle or monster. That's actually kind of cool. Just like pick a unit and disappear it. Or you can, at the end of your turn, for each unit that has 1 or more units within the area, you get 1 point up to a max of 3. So if you have a unit in your deployment zone, you get 1 point. Wholly within 6 inches of the center of the battlefield, you get another point. Wholly within no man's land, and wholly in your opponent's deployment zone. So you got a couple of different options in order to try to do that, but wholly within each zone, and you've got like 1 Wolfen over there, could potentially get you some points as well. Neat. Another way of getting some points.
Neat. That Wolfen will need to take battle shock.
He will. We'll do all that. We'll do battle shocks. You have to draw your cards and stuff too, so we'll do cards, we'll do battle shocks, we'll come right back. So for cards, you got Secure No Man's Land and Sabotage. We've already started moving. The scouts are coming right back on to force the aircraft to go off the board because it can't land here. It has to go at least 20. And then they're going to move into the outside deployment zone and start a sabotage back there as well. You've oathed the Kronos.
Yes.
So the Kronos is going to be the oath target. And of course, you have your Terminators in play as well. You do a couple of battle shock tests. But during the move, I think now so you have to start committing. You've got the Terminators out with Arjak. You've got the Grey Hunters ready to come and play with the Wolf Priest. which, by the way, Wolf Priest, leadership 6, not 5 like a normal chaplain. Niall, though, is lamenting the loss of the chapter's future.
Right? The gene seed is just being robbed.
While my pilot's just cackling maniacally. Yeah. Go, pilot, go. And with that, we'll come back after movement. Ben decided to move the Grey Hunters up with an advance. Going to spend a CP later for advance and charge. So wanting to get wholly within 6 inches of the middle, trying to hold that objective, put pressure on my home, just kind of cut through there. The Terminators are moving up, ready to just put pressure on Drazar. You decided not to fall back with that Headhunter. He's just going to stay there right now. They're going to do a sabotage, these Thunderwolf Cav. That Thunderwolf Cav, together with this unit of scouts, is just zoning out the backboard, as well as Bjorn moving up. And then Niall just moving aside to potentially take some shots at birds. I did Overwatch with the plane. I was trying to kill the little dogs when they moved, but I failed to hit them at all. I was really trying. I wanted to kill them. To be honest, I should have waited for you to move, and then I should have just Overwatched.
That many dice and not get any 6s, Skari.
That's true. I should have just used the flamers over here in retrospect. Then I wouldn't have to roll the hit. Well, you live, you learn. And then over here, I did rapid ingress my Helions in a nice little safe spot. They're going to come and tassel with a bunch of Terminators. And hopefully do some damage before they die, just to slow them down for like another turn, basically. And with that, we're on to the shooting phase, and we'll come back. The Wolfen did fail his Battle Shock test, which does mean he's OC0 again. But there's no stratagems. They're OC0, so that's why that's funny. It just doesn't count for any like secondaries or things like that as well. Shooting phase, Arjak threw his hammer at the Kronos and didn't kill it. I made my cover save. And then you almost killed all the birds, leaving one with 2 wounds, with a combination of Niall's Superstorm and a couple of Storm Bolters. They do not have assault weapons, so they can't shoot after they advance. Because they're rapid fire too. They got carbines, which have a lot of shots, but they're not rapid fire. Interesting. So they're really sturdy. They also have chainswords in combat, make them very good in combat. You did put a wound on the plane with Bjorn. And with that, we're going to go into the charge phase. So you've got this mess here. I don't think Drazar is long for this world, but who knows? He's got a 4-pinball. Anything can happen. And then Urian Rakarth comes back to life, so maybe he'll come back to life. You know, he's being filmed, so he loves rolling ones when he gets filmed. And with that, you've also got the 3 damage hammer that has a pick-in of venom, either Lilith's venom or Archon Skari's venom, to potentially bring one of those 2 transports down. But they only have 2 attacks now, so you know it's not as efficient as it used to be. 6 wounds. You'd have to get both through. Yeah. So interesting to say the least. But let's do some charging and see what happens. Well, Terminators did Terminator things. Killing Drazar, the Incubi, the Kronos, and the Venom all in one go, and Arjak didn't even get to fight. You did spend a CP to give him lethals, which was really cool, actually. He just nuked everything. Awesome. Urian Rakarth did die to the Grey Hunters, and you killed 2 of my grotesques. However, you decided not to pile in, because if you did, you would be losing out on a point, because you wouldn't be wholly within 6 inches of the middle of the board. And now, Urian Rakarth, end of the fight phase. Does he come back to life? He does! Hooray! Whoop. I'm back, baby! I feel so much better. Okay, so the Wolfen failed to kill that Venom. And the little puppies did charge and kill the bird because you didn't want it rampaging around getting me points in the backfield.
Right.
But with that, we go on to the scoreboard and my turn 3. So with the Challenger card, you successfully got a Zone Defense, which gives you another 3 points on the Challenge card, which is very good. You did get 5 more points on your primary for 1 terraform on your home objective. You've started to sabotage, and you have successfully secured No Man's Land for a nice, healthy 5 points, bringing you up to 10 points on your secondaries. And you're currently working on Sabotage, which is another 3. My Mandrakes, of course, will go up in the sky. I will get a CP. You will get a CP as we move into turn number 3 for the Drukhari. And I will get Establish Locus. Press buttons. Good thing you killed that little bird. And Sabotage as well. Nice. So, okay, so what's my plan? My plan is to sacrifice the Helions. Arjak gives this unit fight on death, but they're just going to move up. They're going to shoot, and they're just going to charge in. They have 2 damage attacks each, so I'm just hoping to do as many failed saves as possible and just kill a couple of the Terminators. And then, of course, Lilith is probably going to go and deal with the Grey Hunters. This unit being alive is good. I'm probably just going to move up and establish Locust with the Grotesque. Since there's no bird, I'm just going to do that with this. The Bomber has to fly off the table. So we're just going to show that off now. Minimum move 20 would go to about here. So you'd have to keep on going and can't end outside of an inch of the enemy. So it flies away to return probably another rapid ingress next turn, and then just go and not bomb anymore, but go and nuke something else behind a wall. Movement phase. Helion's just moved up. They're just going to probably shoot the last Headhunter and then charge into the Terminators. I brought Urien around to use this once per game Flamer to try and do something. The Witches came in from Strategic Reserve. I have to move these Scourge. They're just going to move basically out this way, I guess, and then back again. These Cabalites have moved to do some sabotaging. I fell back with that Venom. Lilith is now charging. I did move my Archon out to put the Vect Aura so that the bunch of bolters couldn't overwatch me. That Grotesque is going to press buttons, establish Locust in the deployment zone, and then these Scourge have moved up to get Dark Lances down to the Terminators. So right now, I've sort of like solidified control of my home objective, which is nice. I'm going to try kill that Wolfen if at all possible. I'm just going to shuffle this guy because I forgot that they were back there hidden. And my plane is off the board because Ben played it smart. End of the shooting phase. I was able to kill 3 of the Terminators? No, 4 of the Terminators with a combination of Dark Lances, the Haywire Cannons, and Urien's Flamer. I was able to kill 4 of the Grey Hunters with a combination of different guns. I did kill all the little puppies as well. Killed the puppies. They're dead now. This unit of Cabalite Warriors is doing sabotage, and with that, we're going to do some charges. So what am I going to do here? I'm probably going to charge. Well, the Hellions are going to charge in first, so I can stay Heroic Invention away. So I can kind of go this way. Don't want to get heroic by... Oh, this is a wall. You can't go through that. You'd have to go around. Okay, because they are mounted. Whatever they are. And then Lilith is going to charge into here. And we'll see what she does. End of the fight phase. The Hellions did die, but I was able to kill 3 of the Terminators in the charge. Fight on death and a good use strat for reroll all hit rolls allowed you to kill all of the Hellions. Just barely to the last save. Lilith and friends did kill everybody and put a wound on the chaplain or the wolf priest. Mainly the wolf priest has 3 left, but his invulnerable save did keep him alive. I was able to kill the Wolfen, of course. I got my established Locust over there and Archon Skari. Then the fight phase is going to hop back into his Venom to just stay a very healthy distance away from a bunch of Thunderwolves. So with that, though, I was able to take away that objective so you don't score it. However, you will probably score this if you autopass your Battle Shock. No problem to get some primary, but let's go to the scoreboard. You will successfully do Sabotage, bringing you up to 13 points on secondaries. Nicely done. I will start my Sabotage, and I did successfully do a full Locust for 4 points, bringing me up to 18. So, with that, we go into battle round number 4, where you still have Bjorn. I do not. And that is the score before we score primaries. 37 to 29 points, still at 8-point difference. It's this close. It means you get your 3rd Challenger card. Oh my goodness gracious. So, pivotal moment in your movement phase. 1 unit from your army can shoot and declare a charge in the turn in which it advanced or fell back. Very nice. Or 3 points if you kill 1 or more enemy units this turn. I think you might want to go for the points. I feel like the points are just better in almost every case than these strats. But then again, if a strat's going to give you more than that, that'd be pretty awesome. Okay, so you got Behind Enemy Lines and Cleanse for your cards. So you did want to spend 1 CP to automatically pass Battle Shock there, which means you're going to get 4, 8, plus 1 Terraform, 9 points, bringing you up to 19. So now we are tied.
At the top of the turn.
At the top of the turn. Tied on primary, but never diss it. Considering you're going to get 9 points in Challenger points so far, that's a good offset.
It's keeping me in the game.
It's keeping you in the game for sure.
I like how Challenger's working.
I'm liking it so far.
It feels consistently impactful.
What I should have done is I should have not scored one of my cards round 1 to prevent you from getting the first Challenger card. If that makes then I kept it under 6 points, and so you didn't get to do it until turn turn 3.
Yeah.
But, you live, you learn, folks. I would have totally gotten rid of Storm Hostile or Secure just for a CP. I've just been like, I'll get a CP instead of...
Instead, you get this incredible turn 1.
Yeah, or gone for a Secure No Man's Land on 1 objective instead or something. Anyway. So they're going to come on, they're going to press buttons, they're going to cleanse over here, and then they're going to move, and then we'll just move stuff up as well, and we'll get the party on the road. End of Ben's movement phase. Bjorn's coming up to fight my Grotesque. Those Thunderwolf Cav running around the side, ready to go make some murder, unless you want to advance them, in which case you can, because you have CP. They're going to move around the side. You did have to start opening up a little bit of space in the backfield. Nial's on that objective. The Terminators are moving up to try and score some to-go points. Something interesting, you decide to oath this unit of Cabalites, because they're doing sabotage, and you can see them with 2 assault cannons. So let's see if you can kill them. If you do, I can't do my sabotage. So it keeps the game a little closer, and then they're going to do some cleanse for at least 2 points on cleanse. And we do some shooting. End of the shooting phase. Well, you rolled really hot with those assault cannons. Did like 3 dev wounds, and then the other couple just died. Dead. Okay, well, that kills them. So sabotage does not complete. However, at the end of this turn, which is really cool, is in the new chapter proved, I can now get rid of sabotage. I'm not stuck with it for my turn, which is fantastic. I'm just getting rid of it now. But at the end of the turn, I can get rid of it. I don't get a CP for it, but it means I'm not stuck with it next turn. That's fabulous. It's a great feels good mechanic for the game. With that though, you have some charges to do as well. Let's get this done. Middle of the charge phase, the Arjak charged a little too little. They weren't able to get wholly within the deployment zone. They really wanted to come around to get behind enemy lines, but they did kill all the witches. However, I failed to kill this dang wolf priest with my witches and Lilith. He made all of his impulse saves. Except for one, so he's alive. So of course, he is going to use his awesome relic, which makes his damage 3. Okay, awesome. And he's going to use 1 CP to heroically challenge Lilith to a duel. So we're going to roll that right now.
And then he looks at her.
As a Space Wolf, you did do your sagas, which means every unit gets to reroll a hit, a wound, and a damage roll every time they shoot or fight, which is awesome. So, Chaplain versus Lilith. 2s to hit. Ooh, didn't even need rerolls there. And then 2s to wound, because he's like strength 7 or something like that. Strength 8. No! That's 4.
No, he doesn't have dev.
Thank goodness. On Lilith, so she has to take 2 at a time here.
5.
5, yeah. So 2 at a time. 2 at a time. 4s for Lilith. She takes 3 damage. She has 1 remaining. Oh, she has 1 more remaining. Oh, come on, another 6. Oh, she's gonna die.
You have a CP.
Oh, I'm not gonna use it for that. You get to kill her. She's dead. Good job, little chaplain. Well
He's a
done.
Wolf priest.
He's a wolf.
I'm a wolf
He's
priest
a
now.
wolf priest. Go fetch, boy.
If there was one
fetch,
Grey
boy,
Hunter
fetch.
alive, he could have kept bringing
That's
them
right.
back.
No bringing anybody back. And now we go to the scoreboard. So at the end of the turn, you killed something. Congratulations, you got 3 free points, bringing up to 9 total points here for the challenger cards. You did not get your behind enemy lines. However, you did get 2 points for cleanse, bringing up to 15 total on secondaries. Well done. Would you like to get rid of behind enemy lines?
If they survive.
Well, you'd need to have, if Arjak was like in the deployment zone, then it's good to keep. Because then if they all died, then he would be behind enemy lines at the end of my turn. So that would work really nicely. But he's not.
I will keep it.
You are going to keep it.
I
Okay.
can't get another CP anyways.
That is
I can drop
true.
it at the end of your turn if it doesn't
You're going to see what happens,
Yeah.
is what it is. Okay, I like
If
it.
there's none left alive, I'll drop it.
Makes sense. As for me, I do get a CP and you get a CP, so I'm up to 2 now because I decided not to save Lilith because she deserves to die after not killing a puny wolf priest. Defend stronghold and engage on all fronts. Very nicely done. Let's see if the mandrakes can do their job now. End of the movement phase. Bomber has come in within 24 inches of these little dudes. I'm going to shoot him to death. Uri and Rakarth wants to tassel with Arjak Rockfist. A couple of Venoms have moved up. The Witches are going to stay in combat with your Priest. The Scourge have moved up to deal with Arjak. Archon Skari finally coming out to the fight to go fight some Thunderwolves, I think, as well as the Kronos back there. And then Mandrakes over here to potentially get onto your objective and stop you from scoring it, since it's going to be your turn 5 next, which means if I can like drop you down on primary, that's really good for me. and then getting my full engage as well. So with that, let's go into my shooting phase. Let's see what happens. End of the shooting phase. Oh my goodness. Dark Eldar just starting to kill stuff now.
Yep, ain't much left now.
Yep. I killed all the Terminators with shooting. The Void Raven Bomber absolutely annihilated the scouts. This unit of Mandrakes killed Niall with 1 shooting phase. You failed 3 out of 5 saves, and I also did the death wound. And he's only got 4 wounds, and he died. And he's only a 3-up save now, so he died. And then Archon Skari did killed 2 Thunderwolves and wounded the 3rd one. And I got 3 pain tokens on top of that. I didn't kill him because he passed every save in
I rerolled the save.
You did. You rerolled the save to keep him alive, just to add insult to injury, which is going to force me to charge you with Scourge. But you did lose Bjorn from the Scourge. Those Haywire Scourge are just so good at killing vehicles. So here we got some charges. So Uri Ratkoth is going to charge 3 inches. So he has to base Niall. Oh no, Arjak Rockfist. Get him. And then this unit Scourge is going to charge into that Chaplain. So 6 inches. We'll just come around and we'll just fight.
The party?
That's right. The Dark Lances did scuffle back to where they came from, which is always fun. And Archon Skari is going to jump into that Thunderwolf. 6 inches. He's just going to go around that Thunderwolf. And then, to the other side, keeping as much distance from this Thunderwolf unit as possible. With pain tokens, I have 3 pain tokens. I'm going to give 1 to the Scourge, I'm going to give 1 to Urien, I'm going to give 1 to Archon Skari, and I might get a few back. If I do, I might give some to the Witches. I don't know. We'll see. Holy crap. Urien Ratkarth nuked Arjak. He just nuked him. He just poked him for 6 damage with his little homunculus tools. And that was the end of Arjak.
And he just made no saves.
Yeah. In stark contrast, Archon Skari and his whole unit did 1 damage to a Thunderwolf. And so the Thunderwolf killed basically the entire squad. And with that, we go to the scoreboard. But it is looking kind of grim for the Sons of Fenris. Would you like to get rid of behind enemy lines?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Okay. No, I will start to defend my stronghold. And I did get a full engage on all fronts for 4 points, bringing up to 22 secondary points. Very nice. However, I was able to really pull you down on the primary here as we move on to battle round number 5. You get 1 point because I killed Bjorn.
Yep.
I have 1. And you get 1 point on secondary, on primary, because, let's just check the points, because I think you get another challenger card. At the start of my last turn, I did get 14 points because I held 3 objectives and 2 terraforms. So you will get another challenger card for sure. And then you will go up to 20 points on primary thanks to your last terraform point, which I was unable to really pull down the entire game, even though the action allows you to pull down terraforms now. And your next challenger card is Renewed Focus. 1 unit in your shooting a fight phase that has not been selected to fight. Each time a model makes an attack, you can reroll 1 to hit and 1 to wound. Nice. And in your shooting phase, you do an action. 1 unit more than 15 away from all other units from your army, you get 3 points. So if 1 unit is far away from the rest of your army, you get 3 points. But let's see what secondaries you get to score as well. So you didn't want to kill my tanks, which means you redrew into Storm Hostile Objective and you have no prisoners. So what you've decided to do is you're going to oath the Scourge, and you're going to move up, and essentially you're going to try and Storm Hostile Objective by taking the middle with the Thunderwolf Cavalry, and of course you get to use the challenge. You know, it is what it is. Get some extra points here if you can.
Yep.
They can't really shoot anything, so they're going to charge. Let's go, Thunderwolves! No CP here.
Grenades. Oh no, I don't have a CP.
You don't have CP. And there you go, 9 inches. They make it in quite handedly. 8 inches? Oh, that was an 8. Okay, well that's fine. They're definitely just jumping in over here. Get them. They definitely want to kill some of these witches in order to because they have more they're more OC than the wraiths, than the Scourge. So killing the witches is a good thing as well. And that's why they're oathed. Did you oath the witches or the Scourge?
Scourge.
The Scourge? Or do you want to oath the witches because they're better OC?
I can attack both, right?
You can.
So I have 2 different weapon profiles. I can just say the wolves are attacking the witches, and
yeah, sure.
the weapons are
you're just going to go with everything. I love it. I'm going to go ahead and do some pain tokens over here. I'm going to give a pain token to Archon Skari to see if he can try and do something over there. And that's the only one that deserves a pain token.
All right.
And that's it. And now you're going to use the Challenger card for its other thing, which gives you reroll hit rolls of 1, reroll wound rolls of 1 for that unit. That's awesome. Okay, so you're going to use your challenger card for the stratagem. Interesting. I like it.
It's a free stratagem.
It is. It can't be modified either by things like Vectoras, and you can't use it to generate CP from things like Voxcasters
I did
either.
not know that.
Yeah.
Where does it say that?
That's in the little card thing.
The pamphlet?
Yeah, the little pamphlet thing.
Cool.
Yeah. So you did the Riders fighting the Witches. You gave me 8 saves. Rerolling ones to hit, reroll ones to wound, but you did use your reroll to hit and your reroll to wound from your saga over here. Needing 4s to try and save the Witches. Oh, no, even with a reroll, all the Witches will go down. And let's see what happens with the Scourge. Well, you killed 4 of them with the Thunderwolves. I failed 4 out of 4 invul saves. Wah, wah, wah. So that means I have 1 left. Hooray! Will you pilot?
Yeah.
Yay! Okay, so I'm gonna get to fight you with 3 little attacks from this. No, I'm actually not gonna fight you there first. I'm gonna fight you over there first. I'm gonna spend a CP for lethals. Go, Skari! Skari did finally kill it. Did 3 lethal hits. Hooray! That was my CP though, and successfully you did kill 1 unit, and you got Storm Hostile objective. Nice. That's fantastic. So where's Storm Hostile? Okay, so you got Storm Hostile, and you got 1 kill for no prisoners. So that'll be 4, 5, 6 points on secondaries. Very nice. That's 21 points on secondaries. You decided not to do the other challenger card because you didn't really have enough units to do it with. So you decided to go for the kill to solidify some of those points. With that, we go to my turn. I will be uppy downying some mandrakes. I get a CP. You get a CP as well. I will successfully have defended my stronghold to get a 25 at the end there. And then on secondaries, and we go for cleanse, which I will be able to cleanse on 2 different objectives, and behind enemy lines, which I will get for maximum as well. So I'll get 4 points for that, 4 points for that, which brings me up to 30, is it 8 points? 33, yeah, 33 points on primary. And then I will, no, I can't like take away terraform and then terraform, but I'm gonna see if I can terraform your home objective. Sorry, terraform is end of turn, which means if I go onto here and terraform this, like if I take away terraform, I actually take away the terraform. Yeah, it's interesting. So that means I could pull away a point for you if I wanted to. So that's interesting for terraform, is you can take it away. It's scored at end of each of the turns as well. However, because we already scored that, I'm just going to get my cleanse, and then I'm going to get 12 points on primary plus 2 terraforms plus 3 terraforms. Yes, so I can get 3 terraforms. So I'll get 12, 13, 14, 15 points at the end. Bring me up to a nice 48 points in terms of primary. And with that, it is the end of the game. We each get, of course, our 10 points for battle ready. But with that, you've got 20, 40, 50 points to my 7, 8, 9. So 81. So 81 to 50, considering you got, oh no, yes, because you got the 9 points. That's actually not bad, considering you got 10 points worth.
So I maxed it out for 3 turns.
You got it for 3 turns, and you got it for more than that. That was very, very entertaining. Let's go to a little post-game chat. And that's game.
Hi, guys.
Thanks, Ben, for having this game. It was
No,
really fun.
this was awesome, man. Thanks for having me over to test out the new Space Wolves.
New Space Wolves, and of course, new missions, which is what I'm really excited about. Of course, if you're watching this, I'm currently at Dallas Open, so I hope you're enjoying the battle reports. A huge shout out to Mini Wargaming for letting me use the studio to film here as well, and a huge shout out to the channel Patreons, without whom I can't do this. So if you'd like to support the channel, the link is in the description below, as well as all your likes, comments, and all that stuff. Let me know what you think of the new stuff. I like it.
I'm excited to hear what people have to say.
I think that the catch-up mechanic, the challenging cards, is actually really dynamic.
It feels more impactful than, what was the other ones
well,
called?
you had the Gambits, and then you had the Secret Missions. So there were
Yes.
2 different ones. Gambits, I won a GT off of one, but it was very random.
Yeah.
Secret Missions rarely did, maybe once or twice
Well, people
in a
knew
whole
what mission you were
year.
going to choose in certain
Usually.
scenarios, right?
But this feels a lot more like it's going to be an impact
consistent,
on the game.
It's impactful of the game.
Yeah.
It's not a big swingy thing. It's little bits to keep you in the game. And it really felt like that throughout the game, too.
Now, you're developing a Space Wolf list, so this is your first iteration.
Yep.
So what do you think you're going to sort of do for the next one?
So this, I kind of just wanted to grab all the new toys and just kind of see what they all did. And I'm pretty
As well as
happy
like
with
a
lot
million
of it.
characters?
Yeah. I'm feeling like I'm probably going to drop the Grey Hunters.
Okay.
And get more high volume shooting.
Interesting. Or some anti-tank guns?
Some anti-tank guns. So I like a Lancer.
Yeah.
A Lancer actually does very good in this list because once you get your thing...
Reroll a hit, and it has its built-in reroll a hit. Oh, that would actually be really nasty.
And if you put a Iron Priest next to it, it gets rapid fire.
That would be very silly.
It would be... it's pretty silly.
Pretty silly.
So if I can just get that to work, I'm kind of excited to see what I can do. Now, not every army is able to screen as well as you can.
Not everybody can screen as well as I can.
Drukhari, let's be honest. So your army is very difficult to get that one where I have to get into your deployment zone with the character.
For your detachment specifically.
Yes. I'm pretty sure this is the detachment I'm going to keep trying to get to work.
Yeah.
But the other ones are really interesting.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what you cook up, Ben. But we'll definitely have more Ben on the channel as he cooks up some more Space Wolf stuff. Might even do some crusading at some point as well, which would be super fun. With that, though, thanks a lot for hanging out and watching. I'll catch you all on the flip side. This has been Ben. I've been Skari, your grateful host. Signing off until next time. Skari out.
Bye,
the Dark Kid. Bye, everybody.